All right, I'm here. I'm here. Hold on. I'm looking around for something. Where is it? Where is it? Uh, 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 where is it? Oh, sorry, I'm sharing the wrong thing. All right, brace yourselves. I'm going to go full screen. My hair's a mess. Whew. Oh, it still says Bible every morning. Let's call it This Way Network. I'm going to put, what am I going to put up in the background? Let's just put this. And what else? What else? What else? Overlay. No. All right, you guys are in here. I should start talking. My hair's a mess. I did wash it, but I didn't brush it. You're just getting long. The gray's coming back. I did talk to Mom yesterday. All is well. Mom's reading her Bible, praying. She's like, I'll be back. I'll be back to Bible every morning when it's time. All right, I have to stop screen. I'm looking for something. I'm wanting to put something else up here on screen instead of having me full screen, and I'm not finding it. Again, I apologize. I have not been, I did not prepare. Is that where I want to go, or is this where I want to go? All right, I'll just go here. I think this is going to be, oh no. Why can't this be reached? Oh, there it is. All right, there it is. Can be reached. All right, let's see. What do I want to just... Have you guys seen this website? I'm sure I've directed you guys here. I'll park it right. All right. You guys are piling into the comment section and chattering away. All right. I know you guys are good. Let me just get caught up. Hi, Sabrina. You are tuned in. Chris Bounds, Carrie, hi. AC Cruz. Good. Jacqueline, good to see you. All right. I don't know all the details on it, Cheryl. I do know that her life has gotten better as an answer to prayer. Maybe I should just put a hat on. No, I'll just do it like this. Okay. Wait, what's the title? Live chat with Michael Gavlak. All right. What do we want to talk about today? I really haven't thought about any topic, but I have to be honest with you. I've I got 1,000 things going on. Obviously, so embarrassed by my hair. All right, rubber band. Okay, here we go. Fixing it. I'm distracted. I'm distracting myself. Here I was just talking about how I can fill 5 hours with content. I'm boring the heck out of you guys right now. Putting the hair back. All right, let me just kind of do an assessment. Thank you. It is an exciting time to be alive, right? It's like no question about it. I think I've mentioned this to you guys in the past. So I went to the Sundance Film Festival 2 years in a row. I went 20, it was 2018 and 2019, back to back years prior to the pandemic. And my takeaway from the Sundance Film Festival was this: God is the best storyteller, right? And as Christians, we must all say, duh, duh. But what I meant specifically, like, our Sundance Film Festival is like the pinnacle of film festivals. If you're not in the entertainment industry, but you get to the Sundance Film Festival, you know that's the pinnacle. You've reached the highest level you can as far as film festivals go. There are others like Cannes and Telluride, and there are thousands of film festivals that have sprung up over the years, but Sundance is the pinnacle. And at Sundance, there's essentially two worlds that overlap. There's the theatrical narratives, right? Your big budget movies, or your low budget or middle budget movies, that are narratives, right? They're crafted narratives, movies. And then there's documentaries, right? And you overlap. And some people don't go to any documentaries. Some people don't go to any of the narratives. Some people go to Sundance just for the documentaries. And I went with one of the friends that I went with both years. He's a documentarian, and that's why he was there. And he watched the other films as well. But so I went with him to some amazing documentaries. And at Sundance, you're going to get some good films, that are then on the non-documentary side. You'll get good films, and it's a marketplace, right? Hollywood will send their representatives or agents there to watch films, and if there's a film there that hasn't been purchased for distribution, the studios will purchase one they like, right? That's why they're there, to buy films. It's just kind of a shopping mall for films that don't have connection to a studio or a distribution. The documentaries, however, that's the pinnacle for documentaries, because documentaries don't make money, right? In Hollywood, there's a few documentaries that have made money, and they're and they always win awards during Oscar season, best documentary, but they're not money makers. So there's not a whole industry that's built up around documentaries. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the entertainment industry is the documentary side. So for the best documentaries in the world, you don't go to your local movie theater and say, these documentaries are amazing, let's watch these documentaries. A lot of them don't even get broad distribution. But the best documentaries ever made, the majority of them, will end up at Sundance. At least you're at Sundance, the documentaries you watch are going to be some of the best. And I was floored by a bunch of the documentaries I saw, because documentaries are what? They're just talking about real life, real, things going on in the world, through a narrative lens, or, the filmmaker is trying to be honest and portray things accurately. And what is that? What is that accuracy? What are they depicting? They're depicting the real world, what's really going on, things that just happened. And who's the author of that? God, right? So watching these documentaries, I would come away, I was like, wow, that's an incredible thing that God did. He is the best storyteller. And I say all that to say we are living in an incredibly well scripted period of history. I mean, it is such an incredible, like, this past Tuesday, not yesterday, but the prior Tuesday is the cliffhanger, end of act 3 of an incredible narrative, right? The Donald Trump era, right? It was like, will he win or will he go to jail? And will Elon Musk go to jail, right? Will justice prevail? Will the single target, the most targeted man, the most investigated man, the most reviled man, the most lied about man in history, well, certainly the most investigated man in history, Donald J. Trump, investigated for 10 years now, just about, and they got nothing. They had to make up stuff. They had to make up and prosecute laws that nobody's ever been prosecuted for. They had to indict him and then decide, well, we'll tell you later what he's indicted for, right? They've been through his taxes. They've been through his private communications, and they came up with nothing. They couldn't believe it, right? They were so confident that they were going to find that something so that would stand out to the public that they put a little spin on it, but it would be so offensive, like the allegations of Stormy Daniels, right? He's denying it. I'm like, I'm starting to believe he had nothing to do with that, right? And she even said it herself that she had, it's like, uh, and then what, uh, misleading business, misleading real estate developers, or misleading banks, or misleading the government of New York when he was, building buildings. And it's like he was doing what all developers do, reporting the same way, and the banks were happy. Everybody was paid. Everybody was made whole. Some of the numbers were off, but they corrected them later, and everybody was happy. Yet they prosecuted, right? Or yet they found him guilty. And so we're living in a time when a billionaire is the victim of the system, right? Where the hero, normally it's this underdog, scrappy kid from nowhere that rises out of nowhere and becomes the hero. Well, Donald Trump is the uh, among billionaires, right? Think about the billionaire class. Among billionaires, he's the outsider who has risen to the top, the most important position, the position of power, and targeted, and they're trying to end him. They tried desperately, and they're not done trying. But last Tuesday was this, when you watch a movie and you want your hero to succeed and everything is against him, and then he overcomes against all odds, and the credits roll, and you leave the theater going, wow, that was amazing. I never thought, right? That's what we just experienced in real time, right? That's the beauty of this technology, that you can tune in to live streams and get your information instantly. That's never been true in the past. It's never been true. And we're watching it unfold. And so we're like on the front lines, in the front row, getting to watch God's dramatic narrative. And I cannot overemphasize how seismic this shift, how seismic this paradigm shift has been. The lists of names that are coming out of this transition team, every single one of them is a tip of the spear, if you will, right? This is an assault on the establishment. This is an assault on the metastasized bureaucracy. The fourth is the fourth branch of the government, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, globalism, the Illuminati, if you will, all of the infrastructures, institutions that have been moving. Every institution, their first priority is to maintain power, right? No matter what they were founded for, no matter why they were established, no matter what, benefit this department of XYZ was created, we've got to put some people in charge of making that thing happen. Well, that's the justification for the establishment of the institution. But the institution, the person who's put in charge of that, and the people that are put in charge of that, may have at the forefront, and that what they tell the public is, yeah, we're here to do this. We're going to figure out how to help people. But in the back of their mind is like, let's make sure we maintain this institution. We have to make sure the institution persists. We have to be relevant. So we got to do some things. But what's more important than doing things is getting paid. right? And staying. And over the almost 200 and let's see, we're coming up on 1776. So 19 2026, 250, is that how long is America? 250 years, right? We're coming up on this important birthday in this 250-year life of this young nation. Some 400 government agencies. It's like on average 2 plus per year of existence. We have these agencies that just get added and added and added, and none of them taken away, right? None of them removed. And so that ossification, right, or the bloat, it becomes less and less efficient. And so the purpose of our government has taken on, it's like mutated. And right now, the list of names that Trump is putting out into, right, like these are my picks to head these things. It's going to be such a streamlining like never before. You're going to have entire departments like the DOE, right? Department of Education. I told my wife, who's a teacher, I said, by the way, the Department of Education is going away, right? That's the plan. The Department of Education. It's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it's not gonna be good for teachers unions, the most powerful union in the nation. Just like that. You think of the if you watch, which I my guilty pleasure of late, the last week has been just watching the whinging, right? YouTube is so beautiful. The people who've lost their minds, and it's very sad. A lot of it's sad, but it's also cathartic. You think of the individuals who are screaming into their cameras, broadcasting to whatever fan base they have how crazy they are, right? Somehow that's, they feel they need to do that. Think about an entire union, like, think of the craziest person you've seen screaming at the camera over the last week. And that is a representation of the teachers union now, right? When Trump announces the end of the Department of Education, it's going back to the states, and watch what happens. The states will now ignore like anything the federal government has required from each state. These are the standards now. You must teach these things to your children for federal funding, blah blah blah, because state schools. Now each state will be like, oh, scrap that. We're going to teach kids. We're going to teach now. And some states are going to start teaching the fundamentals, and you're going to have a new generation of and our scores will start rising. Actually, individual states, right? I think what may end up happening, because right now they take our national averages of our scores, right? We've spent more money on education in our country. We spend the most money of any other country on education, and our scores are at the bottom. It's like, oh, why would you throw more money at that? So it's like privatizing, it's equivalent of privatizing education. Each state will now reformulate and say, all right, scrap what the federal government was telling us. We'll keep the good things, and now we'll start teaching. And probably what we'll need to do is start comparing the scores of the states to international, rather than rather than averaging every state to get a national average. Will probably be individual states. Now, Florida is now, has places fifth in the world of engineers or mathematics or something like that. That's what we're going to start seeing. Different states rising to the top in the international rankings of education. So yeah, the DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, is a new. So it sounds ironic or contradictory. It's like we're going to be eliminating departments, but he created a department, the Department of DOGE, which is Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy now. For a little bit of clarification, it's most likely not going to be a department as we are used to, right? I guarantee Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy are now not going to be taking a salary from the federal government to lead a government department. That's not going to happen, right? It's more like an advisory to the executive branch, right? An advisory, but department sounds good, but it's like literally the most essential department that hasn't yet been created. It's the department that lords it over the rest of the departments, right? It's the department that has the authority to look into every other department and say, this is a redundancy. Oh, the Department of Energy and the EPA have these huge overlaps. We either eliminate outright the Department of Energy or eliminate outright the EPA or take these big sections and remove them. It's like all this bloat and overlap. And the geniuses, like literally certified geniuses that are now being appointed to the positions without the burden of being targeted by the rest of the bureaucracy, right? The biggest mandate in history has just happened. That's why the popular vote. I think that's what shocked people the most. Yes, the people that were in their bubbles, believing the leftist narrative that she's got this, right? All you got to do is buy a bunch of celebrities, and those celebrities will have so much influence that there's no way we can lose this, right? The scam to the donors on the left. There's very rich donors that are like super rich people that gave millions and millions of dollars to the left. They're like, wait, I was investing in the future, and my candidate lost. They're rich people reeling right now, um, about the loss. So people are shocked about the sweep of the battleground states, all 7 of them, and the electoral college landslide. But I think maybe not enough emphasis is being given to what happened with the popular vote. Because what happened last time in 2016 is like, oh yeah, he squeaked out an electoral college win, but he didn't win the popular vote. Therefore, he has no mandate. He's illegitimate. Yeah, but he won this time. He dominated the popular vote, right? And so there's a kind of a spiritual dynamic, because it's in the spirit, right? Where are elections? They're in the heavens, right? It's not a physical thing. You may fill out a physical ballot, but it's about leadership. It's about powers and principalities. When you're electing somebody, you are pushing powers and principalities into power, right? Because powers and principalities are not just the spirits and the entities, but they're the humans also, powers and principalities and structures, right? And so by voting, and with the popular vote and the young generation that's up and coming, right? This 18 to 30-year-olds like are excited about America. It's like when you've captured the future, that's what's the most devastating for the left and the power of the left. And so they have no arguments now, right? They're left without an argument. If we had lost the popular vote, or if Trump had lost the popular vote, every leftist media would be saying the same thing. He doesn't have a mandate. He lost the popular vote. That talking point gone. Now they're left without anything to say. They have nothing to say. They immediately revert to their like, what can we racism? Yeah, misogyny. She was a woman. Like they have nothing to say because they ran on racism and misogyny. Their excuse is racism and misogyny, and that falls flat because when people like the investment in our country is going to skyrocket. It's going to be some crazy hard stuff that happens, but everything's going to start getting better. And especially after 2 years, that's really, I mean, I got to read a few of these comments. Hold on. Yeah, visions of end here. Next. Oh, okay. AC Cruz, you lost. Yeah, let me put these up here. Worried about her so-called neck and neck, super tight, close polls. All right. So there were, I don't need Solomon up here. Let's just go me. All right. I was going to talk about Solomon, but you guys all know what I'm doing. Worried about her neck and neck, super tight, close polls, only to witness that he won in a landslide. It was, Electoral malpractice is the only thing. Electoral malpractice, right? There was this poll from Iowa that came out, Harris up 3, on Saturday before the election. It was like the last poll to drop. And the lady who released that poll had credibility because she'd been fairly accurate in the past. And it's either she had a really bad sample or she was making a desperate last minute, last ditch effort because she knew what was going on. She was trying to sway, right? That Iowa poll that came out that had people freaking out. Wait, she's reliable. The polls are wrong. The polls, as if it's neck and neck, the Republicans are winning, right? If the polls come out and they show a neck and neck race, and this is, the credible pollsters will tell you this. All polls oversample the left. All polls, presidential polls, electoral polls, they all oversample the left. Some, whether it's intentional, they literally, the polls are required to tell you who they sampled, and the people that dig into that and find out. We interviewed 100 people, 56 Democrats and 41 Republicans and 3 independents, right? Well, if it's only 100 people and you interviewed 56 and your polls come out, neck and neck or with Kamala slightly ahead, duh, right? You asked more Democrats, right? So and part of it is some of the voters and likely voters are new voters and use new means of gathering information or new paradigms of following. And so the pollsters, some of the new voters, like the young new Republican voters, the pollsters can't find them to poll them, right? They have their traditional methods of polling, and Democrats tend to use the traditional methods, and Republicans and some are just been so demonized they'd rather just not answer a poll. And so every poll oversamples the left. So all those polls that were saying it's neck and neck, when I heard them, I'm like, oh good. Because previously Biden was leading in the polls. When Biden ran in 2020, he was leading and he won, right? And Hillary was leading and she won the popular vote, right? So the polls, if they show Democrats leading by 6 or more, then the Democrats will win. If they show the Democrats leading by 2 or 3, that's neck and neck. But if they show the Democrats and Republicans neck and neck tied, it means the Republicans are dominating. So for future reference, and I don't know if that's ever going to change. I don't know. Let me see. Somebody else has a comment here. I see Robin. There you are. Almost out of time already. I am envious. No, envy's bad. Envy's evil. I'm jealous. Robin, you went to Turkey. I've been to Turkey once. I need to get back there. Well, let me put Solomon back up. Oops. What is going on here? I don't want to remove that. I'm having a glitch. Time's up anyways. Oh, you went to Istanbul. Anatolia. Imagine I call it the Turkish. Yeah. Everybody needs to go. Everybody needs to go to Armenia, actually. You should go to Armenia and Turkey. Go to interior. All right. I love you guys. Good to see you. Oh, yeah, that's good. I want to point this out. A lot of people were worried about Texas. Nothing to worry about in Texas. Texas is redder than it's ever been, especially at the southern border. That's the good news for the future. The nation is going to continue getting redder. There's not going to be a Democrat president for a generation. Love you guys.